I'm new at this. And look, I don't care what you call me. I don't care what you make of it. If any of this is useful to you, cool. If not, whatever. Great. I put out some new music. Hopefully you think it's funny. I'm just kind of improvising based on what I'm seeing outside. I don't know what it is. I'll leave that to the professionals. I just make stupid art. And I want to teach you how to make stupid art. Whoever you are. So let's get to it. Hey, check this out. This is called FL Studio. This is the DAW I use. You can use any DAW. It doesn't matter. DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation. That's DAW. So check this out. I have here a nice fancy computer that can do all kinds of cool things. You might not. I certainly didn't not that long ago. If you do it this way, it doesn't matter. FL Studio runs just fine. Mac, Linux, Windows, whatever. Whatever DAW you like probably does too. And so what I did is I took an acoustic guitar that I'm not going to get up because I'm wearing a dress and I don't want to deal with the camera. To make this, I was going to use my electric guitar, but it's not around anymore for reasons I don't want to talk about. So this is what I did. I'm going to solo. Look, this is like pretty shoddy. I made it like no time at all here, right? As you can perhaps hear, this is a crunchy guitar, right? Let me kind of make sure you can hear that. Yeah, looks like it. I don't know. I'm famously bad with the audio stuff on these streams, and I don't have very many watchers or any, so right now I'm just practicing, hoping and celebrating the fact that I will probably be on this side of the fence, hopefully, if I stay good. So help me stay good, YouTube. And engage with this crunchy guitar with me, which, if you don't crunchify it like that, sounds just like this. But this part right here is what makes it sound like an electric, okay? Like, this is just... like, I don't know if you can hear that. Like, to some degree, just the lack of volume is going to make this sound worse, right? But when you play on an electric, it's like every fret, every note, it's like, you know what I mean? Like that. You hear that? You get your compressor set right. And then you feed it into whatever nonsense you're doing here. And then, okay, and pay special attention to the cabinet for your flavor, okay? After that, and this is worth showing out the money in my opinion, for the producer FL Studio Unlocked, is just for this. Look what happens when you take this away. Suddenly it sounds a little bit more like an acoustic guitar being processed by digital noise, right? But this crackle that I'm bringing into it, I'm getting that like weird compressor distortion, and I'm pushing it out just at certain transient moments. And I'm trying to make sure they don't linger for too long. And like if you solo it, it kind of sounds bad, right?
Trying to take you, kill the blonde boys when they rape you, smash their frames, trying to take you, kill the blonde.
Anyway, that's the kind of music that I make, and I hope that you do too. If you also don't have a bass guitar, like I don't, here's what's gonna happen here, right? I just used my regular guitar and I pitch shifted it an octave down. But then you have to be really careful with the EQ, and this is something I messed up. If you hear that, like when it goes on Spotify, you're gonna hear it. It sounds terrible because the bass and the guitar, when you use this method, will absolutely build up on that moment. So you need to do the high pass memes, okay? And if you don't know about the high pass memes, it's like, hey, step one to audio production, put a high pass filter on everything. That's what I'm talking about.
Just boys now.
So this is a matter of preference. I like the drums to punch through. That doesn't always happen in metal, right? So what I have is an actual, like, that's just the name that FL Studio gave it. That's just the kick that I used, the Who Dat kick. Love the name. Definitely was part of why I picked it. Just if you're looking at a list of them over here, you pick what looks cool. And if it sounds cool, great. If it doesn't, you move to the next one. That's what I do. I don't want to spend too long because at the end of the day, you're gonna need to throw this in here. If you like those punchy kicks, like I do. That is not all. Additionally, you're gonna want to pipe all your drums, especially if, like me, you throw in just maybe some of these loops and just chop them up like you're making some breakcore. I do that a lot. I like to. It's fun. You can just make whole new drum beats. Sorry, whole new drum beats. Out of these guys right here. Hold on, where are they? Loops. Amen, brother. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, look up the song. Don't know, now you know, I hope. So, that, you want to have all your drum boys go in here, because if you're like me and you want to make electronic music where you chop those boys up like crazy to make some Aphex Twin stuff, you're gonna want to have all that going in here. You want to bust out that transient processor. Aphex Twin famously used some kind of detection and then like routed those splices back into a drum machine and stuff, but you can skip that if you just squash things the right way and use your transient processors in just the right way, and then you can bring some of that actual drum kit sound back into it in exactly the amount that you want, if you know what you're doing and have more time to let your ears reset than I do. And that's why your music will sound better than my music, because I don't care. I got other stuff I really ought to be doing, but I like need to get this off my chest, and I need to pass this skill on to you, because like the resources, the system resources that it takes to do it this way is nothing. And then if you go ahead and just export your wave, I don't know if this is going to show up on OBS. Hold up. No, it doesn't. So if you just go ahead and export your wave and split the mixer tracks and then start a new project and then load it in there, then you did it with all of these effects printed, and then you can just keep using more effects. So as long as you got hard drive space, you don't need compute. You can use the old Intel i5 5th, 6th gen thing running around, throw Linux Mint on it, put this stuff in container or bottle, whatever, just straight up wine, and it works great. I was able to use this on like a MacBook, like from like 2012 on Linux Mint, and get better driver compatibility with audio interfaces to boot. So yeah, that's the magic you can do with whatever you have lying around, you know. Or look, I'm not going to talk about buying used, because I do own an eBay store and I just don't want to get these streams crossed, so to speak. I want to keep things ethical. So whatever you've got lying around in your closet right now, whatever you're planning to give away or donate, maybe just like keep that charger, keep it next to your bed, and straight up, you want to know what microphone I use for this? It's the built-in microphone to this MacBook. The other tracks on the EP I just put out, I use a real microphone. This one, to prove a point, actually, come to think of it, Typhonia and Crypt also I use this microphone. But the last several, anyway, I did that to prove a point, okay? You don't need the latest and greatest. You don't need the best gear. And you don't need to shell out a ton of money Because, like, I think you can buy transient processor and then just use FL Studio default and save yourself some money. That's, like, honestly one of the few ones I use. I don't actually know. I bought it forever ago, and that's the one plug I am going to give to FL Studio, is that I bought this license several years, genders, and legal names ago. Changed my name so often. Lost my wife and children. Sorry, Leonard Cohen in my head. And they don't care, and I still get updates. Who does that? FL Studio does that. Oh my God, can the tech industry just look at them and be like, nice generosity, please. Yes. I don't know. So, I would give them more money, but I literally like, they got it and they don't want more. So if you're looking for a DAW and that one's in your budget, it's good. Anyway, that's my free plug for FL Studio, just because it's like saved my freaking life. Yeah. I think I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank you for watching, and please. Oh yeah, the microphone I used for the guitar was the MacBook microphone. I put the guitar in the couch and just, okay? A little bit of time on an EQ. Okay, I'm not a pro, this is an EQ tutorial. But just pay attention to where your build-ups are, okay? You'll hear it. There's more fancy EQ in other songs. This one I didn't care. No combing, none of that, just whatever. Just take a leap. Take a leap of faith. Get it out of your head. Don't let the badness keep you down. Just scream it out. Tell those mofos to fuck off, and then just keep doing your thing, because you rock, okay? Whoever you are. Even if we have differences of opinion, you're at least not